remember when I get to 0, it is quiet. Thank you. It's really respectful, and I love you for it. Good morning, Candeo. Best sound ever. Thank you for that. And then the best thing to look at is your smile. First, happy in your heart. I love it, you're all facing me like this. Happy in your heart goes here. Share a smile with yourself. You can smile in your heart too. That's interesting to think about. Usually brings a smile to your face. Please share that with someone else. One more. Another. Please look at your teacher. And share a smile. And thankful in our heart, gratitude, and we show that. We give a welcome to everyone here joining us with our normal routine and for our Reach Assembly for March. Welcome parents, we're glad you're here. We love that you're here every single time, so please join us as much as you can. Let's see, take just a moment, boys and girls, to just be still and silent. Well, still and quiet. And still means quiet inside, too. Take a moment to think of good, true, beautiful, and take a moment to notice the good that surrounds you right now. Ready to begin. And you are going to do a very good transition like we practiced yesterday. Do you remember? There it is. And welcome to your day, welcome to this assembly. And here's our transition for you too. Beautiful job. Ready to begin. Beautiful job. Remain standing, please. And 5th grade, and Mr. Brad will lead us in a patriotic song. and unexpected. Thank you, Asher Park. Mr. Braddock in the 5th grade. I'm reminded of all the learning that we get to have here. It's not just the first verse, it's all of the verses and the learning that goes behind it. I'm so thankful for a music teacher who understands that. Sorry for that emotion. We will hear more from 5th grade, and I'm excited to do that. We have a special treat coming up, and we will know what they're doing as soon as our teachers come right up here and let us know. Thank you for being great audience members.
Good morning, Candida. So the 5th grade just finished learning about westward expansion, which was a time in American history where Americans traveled west from the original 13 colonies to settle lands that were previously occupied by the Native Americans. So some of the first people that traveled west were pioneers and mountain men. These men were people who were daring and adventurous and brave, and they just loved being around nature, and they liked to just be alone in nature. They made their money off of trapping and hunting and selling animal furs. So one of the most well-known pioneers, his name was Daniel Boone. He found a way through the Appalachian Mountains and then cleared a way for other pioneers to then, and average people, to then be able to travel out west and settle lands that we now know as California, Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, everywhere in the Midwest. And so our song today is a song that was sung on rivers, like the Missouri and the Mississippi River, by the sailors who were pioneers and traveled out west by using those rivers. This song is called Oh Shenandoah, and it's believed that it's a song about a pioneer who fell in love with the daughter of a Native American chief named Shenandoah. And the sailors sung these songs just to make their time on the boats pass by quickly because they were traveling for a long time, and also to make their chores more enjoyable. So we really love learning about this time in American history. It's so fun and exciting and really important to learn about. So we hope that you enjoy our song.
Mr. Braddock, the 5th grade teachers, all the teachers who built that background to get to this point. Thank you so much. Before we get to our next portion, we have a brief announcement from PVO.
Good morning, Candeo. How was your spring break? Awesome, so was ours. So just a reminder, next Friday is the last day to get in your box tops for March Madness. All right? Where's it? Yeah, it's the first one. Okay, so next Friday, last Friday, to get them all in, the winner gets a pizza party. Yeah, so get the box tops. Also, next Friday is denim for $1. So wear your denim and bring your $1. Now, good guys, good job.
We have one more thing that's going on right now. Have you guys seen in the cafeteria the readathon bulletin board? Yeah. And the readathon forms were sent 2 weeks ago. And so the readathon is going on right now. And I've tallied the ones we have, and Mrs. De La Cruz's classroom is in the lead right now. And whatever classroom earns the most money, each student gets $10 to spend at the Scholastic book order. So you need to be reading, and writing it down, getting pledges, and then turning those in by this Friday, okay? And I will post every day in the cafeteria on that bulletin board with Cat in the Hat on it, which classroom is in the lead. So right now it's Mrs. De La Cruz, so we'll see if today she's still in the lead at the end of today, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, PBO. It's always good to see you up here. And the work that you do supports our school. Thank you so much for taking the lead on that with fundraising and community events. Let's see. It is time for the reach portion of our assembly. And remember, we took A just to 1. Do you remember what A is? Thank you. I love that. Cheerful readiness, right? Let me see it. I feel it. And you do feel that cheerful readiness. Tell me what R stands for. You show it every day. You do. E. That too. A. C. And H. Boy, do you feel my heart every day. You really do. Thank you for sharing all of Reach with me and with everyone sitting here, with your teachers. It makes for a really great school. Smile if you agree. Nod if you agree. I don't see very many nods. Who agrees that Reach is a good thing? Oh, good. Well, I can't wait to hear from you. We will start with 5th grade. You ready to be great audience members? All right, show me now. Listen to the words that these teachers said from every grade. It's really inspiring.
Okay, so the student I have chosen to receive this month's Reach Award reminds me of some of the Civil War activists we're going to learn about soon. Like Abraham Lincoln, this student is not afraid to speak his mind and has many insightful ideas to share. Like Harriet Tubman, this student truly cares about others and will go to great lengths to help his fellow classmates. Like Frederick Douglass, who famously said, "Once you learn to read, you will be forever free," this student places a strong value on education and knowledge. We are thankful for your joy, your friendship, and your lawyer-like cross-examinations. Congratulations, Ethan Reed.
this morning to honor our REACH recipient. So the first letter, J, is for joyful. The student shows true alacrity each and every day. O is for optimistic. The student is hopeful and confident about the future, and I love to hear her talk of her future, her faith, and her family during our morning Pandeo circles. R is for radiant. The student sends out light and shines brightly in her heart. I see this as she smiles while holding the door on the way to specials, when also cleaning up the campus of litter. And D, she knows who she is for determined. She never gives up. And Y, you are loved. This is how she makes each and every student in our class feel every day. She's welcoming, kind, helpful, considerate. And N is for never going to forget you, because I'm never going to forget you, George Livingston. Like to be able to see you guys too. So, something has happened this year in my classroom that has never occurred in my 25 years of teaching. Do you know that? Dr. Mercer, 25 years. It's inspiring. Yeah, I know what you're thinking to yourself, that I must have started teaching when I was 12. But that's besides the point I'm trying to make this morning. This year, when I got my class roster, I saw for the first time that I'd be having twins in my class. I must have felt and looked the same way that the twins' mom did when she saw her first ultrasound that revealed that she was having twins. I had to immediately go to the fourth grade teachers and I asked if there was some mistake because in my experience, 25 years. Twins were generally in different classes, so I asked them, hey, what can you tell me about these Del Vigio kids? Were they put together on purpose? Not one teacher answered my question directly. Instead, they said things like, oh, you have the Del Vecchios? You're so lucky. They're so sweet. I love them. They're the best. You're really going to enjoy them. Well, kiddos, your reputation precedes you. So not one of them answered me directly, so I asked them again, okay, great, I'm glad I'm having the Del Vecchio kids, but are you sure they're supposed to be together? And the answer was simply, yes, they do better together. And this is simply the truth. Bruno and Zanny Del Vecchio are the yin and the yang of our classroom. They epitomize how seemingly opposite or contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural learning world, and how they may give rise to one another as they interrelate to one another and their classmates. Here's an example. Imagine you're the lead fairy in a Shakespeare play, and you've been working for months to memorize these awkward-sounding lines, and during the performance you forget your lines. Now, imagine your sister is the narrator of the said school play and has all the lines in the tips of her fingers. What might happen next is anyone's guess, but I didn't say she was the sinister sister. She's the benevolent sister. And you know Zanny and Bruno in this scenario. You know that Zanny was there for Bruno, and the school play was a huge success. I have countless stories like this about these two from this year. They have each other's backs all the time. Trying to choose between them was simply excruciating. I made a list of all their REACH qualities, and I determined that I had to bestow the award to both of them. Candelo. And you know her, she always has a song in her heart and ready for you. In fact, if you tell her anything, she'll take the last word of your sentence and turn it into a song that she knows. I've known that for a very long time. Prior to starting Candeo, I got to teach with her, and I knew that's exactly who I wanted to bring on board with me. So thank you again, Mrs. Becker.
But it's still a super duper pleasure to be here. So that's a tough act to follow, but I'll try. All right, so awesome by definition means extremely impressive or daunting, inspiring great admiration. When I think of the student awesome comes to mind, he always adds a layer of awesomeness to our Candeo circle. I think everybody knows who I'm talking about already. He brings alacrity to school every day and greets me with eye contact, a namaste, and a smile. He brightens our classroom with his witty sense of humor and is secretly super smart. He's not only awesome, but his name sounds like awesome. Austin Larson. I'm thanks
that I'm always looking for in students is growth. Growth not only as a scholar, but as a person. One student in particular stood out throughout the month of March. Though she was quiet about her good deeds, I did notice them. I especially noticed the respect she showed for her fellow students and the way she so eagerly volunteered to help out others. I am impressed with this young lady's alacrity, her cheerful attitude, and the pure kindness that she shares constantly with her peers. Megan Wilkinson, congratulations on winning the
Alright, so this student is somebody that could have gotten this reach award every single month. I think we always have one of those students. But I like to see the consistency and showing every day that I like the respect, but also he adds another R of responsibility. Never loses anything, everything is organized, I can count on him for anything. He has the heart, he cooperates, he brings a smile to my face every single day, and this is Colton Buckner.
On we go to third grade. I think the way that Mrs. Kingston best described our Reach winner today was as a quiet leader in our classroom. I was going through, as I was thinking about the student that we chose, I was going through each of the letters in Reach, and when I thought about respect, I thought there has not been one time this year that I have ever had to redirect the student to do something differently. When I think about the student in math class, sometimes while she is whipping smart in every subject area, sometimes there are math concepts that can be a bit challenging, and she puts her head down, and she works, and she works, and she works, and sure enough, she knocks it out of the park on her test. A, cheerful readiness, always not even a question. C, cooperation. It doesn't matter who I have to put her with, she'll go with anyone, and she will work beautifully with any person or any group that I ask her to. And Hart and Haugen start with the same letters, so congratulations, Brittany.
And one of the types of rocks we learned about in geology was metamorphic rock. So what a metamorphic rock does is, just like second graders know from butterflies, they metamorphosize. And they change from one thing to another. And so when I think about the three things that are involved in metamorphic rock, so you have the heat, the pressure, and then you have time. And over the last 4 years, this student has really decided to change over time. And it wasn't easy when he started. It wasn't fun, and sometimes he would get very discouraged. So what we've been trying to work on is making sure that everything is done with a cheerful readiness and a happiness to know that he can do it. And this student has sat, because the other part is time, for 1,337 days since kindergarten. That's how many days he sat, summer vacation included, to get to this point. And he's now metamorphosized into a reach winner for the first time in 4 years. Jagger Wellington.
The person I chose this month is, like Dr. Hudak and Ms. Kingston said, is also a quiet leader in the classroom. She works so hard, and no matter what teacher I speak to, they agree with me. She always shows respect to herself and her peers. She cooperates, even in my absence. She is one of my darlings of wisdom, along with Faye, Catherine Lynn.